Hey, welcome to this episode of Cocktails and Combos. It's been raining all day, so everybody's a little bit off today.
Yeah, it was
everybody's a little bit crazy. It's children running up and down the hall outside of here.
I'm talking about got no sense.
I don't know if you can hear it or not, but there are literally children running up and down the halls. So we're just gonna try to get through this thing today. So today we are talking about the ride or die culture basically in like the Black community is what I was thinking of when we talked about it. I mean, I guess it falls in like other communities as well.
Yeah.
It just off the top of my head, I was thinking about like even with Trump, even with all those people who literally went to jail.
Yes, they went to jail.
They went to jail.
You stormed the Capitol for this man. You ain't never met a day in your life.
Right.
And never will.
So I'm thinking, as far as the ride or die culture, because a lot of them ended up losing careers, losing, freedom.
Yes.
Behind somebody that they don't even know.
They thought they were following a good cause, but here's the thing. He is no longer the president, so he can't pardon you.
Right.
So, ride or die. What you gonna do?
I don't think they give a pardon him either there.
No, because even at the end,
he was still there when it happened.
He was, but he backstepped so much. After it all went down, he backstepped and was like, I didn't tell them to do that. They went there on their own.
Right.
Yes, you did. You said if you have a problem, go down there and express it and say what you got to say.
And even said, like, I'm coming with you. Like, I'm going to go with you. Ooh. And then didn't go. And then was like, what? No, this wasn't about me.
So that's not a ride or die.
Until like an hour into the thing to tell people to go home.
That's not a ride or die.
I'm saying, but the people, would you consider them to be ride or die? The ones that...
The ones that actually did the action and did all the dumb stuff, yes. Okay. I'm going to say those are ride or die. Because even still at the end of the day, they'll sit there and get out of prison and still make America great again. You know what I'm saying? So, but what they did it for, no. I think they just did it more for...
Publicity.
Not even publicity. I think for their movement. And what I mean by
like
their movement.
System.
Right, their movement. Not what everybody else feels and stuff. Right. I think they went off of more their belief system. So
so when you think about ride or die or 10 toes down or whatever it is that you may want to call it, what does that mean to you? Because I feel like that definition is different to everybody. So Angel, what do you think that means to you?
I mean, you've seen people do the most drastic things for people. Steal, kill, maim, do all kinds of just unthinkable things. Maim.
Okay.
There's people that have been...
Look, if I cut your ponytail off, I just maimed you real quick. I ain't hurt you.
I mean, there are. There's people are just...
It was just funny that how you just slipped it in there.
Okay. I mean, you see people like really get out of the way. You watch Snapped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People were cut up, rolled up in carpets, and thrown in ditches.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because you got mad. Like, that doesn't...
Okay, so again, like if you had to define what ride or die means to you.
Definitely. These people that sit there for whatever cause and do whatever it takes to make it known that this is my person, this is my belief, this is what I'm doing, without any justification.
Right.
Like, they don't care who they hurt, who they go out of their way with, long as it's for that particular reason.
Okay. What about you, Kim?
I think ride or die is one of those things. It's pretty much like you're gonna stick by somebody's side no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what. There's no consequence. There's no repercussion. There's nothing that could happen that would make you change your mind.
Every week.
We all.
That wasn't the only one.
But yeah, so there's no consequence, there's no repercussion that's gonna make you change your mind about how you feel about this person in particular or this situation in particular. So that's what I would consider ride or die is.
Oh, see, she's looking at me. See, she just looked at me. Right, she just looked at me. Normally I'm the first one. So anyway,
we were trying to let you eat.
Right.
I know, we were just scoop the whole salmon on your plate, and I'm like, ooh, let me give her a second. So
the salmon didn't want to come out the bowl, so anyway.
I saw that. I was like, okay, well,
I was
let's
struggling
give her
with
a second to bite into
She
it.
laughed. She's messing.
Right.
I can't.
Ain't no way.
I can't. Sit them on bed.
Go night night. Anyway, so for ride or die, y'all, I think piggybacking on what Nakia said, it's no matter what that person is doing, you're right there supporting them. You're right there, behind them no matter what. But I honestly think there are two types of ride or die.
Okay.
You have the relationship ride or die, and then you have the friendship, friends ride or die.
What's the difference in the two?
Okay, relationship ride or die. This is a woman who, no matter what, will not let her man fail or anything. And the same goes vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's finances, emotions, business, no matter what. She's there for you to the end. He's there for you to the end. Now, when it comes to friendships, there's a difference as well, because I'm not sleeping with you or nothing, but you my girl, you my sister, I'm rocking with you. You go, somebody sitting here coming to fight you, I'm throwing hands too. They finna get a 2-piece and 3 biscuits from you. You know what I'm saying? So stupid. But that's why I say it's a difference. It's a different level of ride or die when it comes to who you're dealing with.
Okay.
Now, I have ride or die, but I'm sorry, when you go do some stupid shit.
Right. See, okay, so that's what I wanted to follow up on, because I feel like the concept of ride or die, I think there's probably only a couple people in this world that I would even say and mean ride or die.
Right.
And I would only really mean it when it comes down to my son, my sister, and my mom.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, if there was ever those three people I would give my life for, I would go to jail for, and I would, those three people I'm taking a bullet for.
Right.
And I think everything outside of that, I'm like, I love you, but I got these three people to go home to. So they need me. So if you out here doing some silly shit, I'm
You
like,
on your own.
but it's like, but I love you and I support you. And to me, there's like a boundary, right, of what I'm willing to do.
Yeah.
And what I'm not willing to do. Like, I ain't murdering nobody from my homeboy.
No.
Listen, but there are people that will definitely, like you said, ride or die for the cause. Like,
And that to me is so crazy, because I'm like,
Like
now this
gangbangers
person,
and
That's like a
that.
cult.
but then I'm like, but now these people are free. You've done something silly for them, and they're free, and your whole life is ruined because you wanted to stick to this ride or die culture.
It is, but I mean, look at Nip. Look at Epstein. He was a true person to his color. He was a true person to what he stood for, and he died standing for it. He died in front of his own store, trying to clothe a man that had just got out of prison. So it's not necessarily doing something stupid. Sometimes it's the backlash of trying to do something good. All these things that he developed in the community and workstations and trying to give urban children the same, economical things that these rich children have, teaching them about the stock market, teaching them about different books and colleges and how to apply for things. And the man was killed in his own store.
But that's two different things, though. That right there.
Hold on, before you finish that, because I do think that you can be ride or die in a positive way, because you can be ride or die like for your community. To where it's like, I believe in this enough. And it's the same way just on the flip side of these people that stormed the Capitol in the belief of what they thought was right. He thought that this was something that was that important to him, and he was willing to risk his life for that.
Well, that's the thing. Like, on the both ends of that, it's like they're saying that one of his own people killed him. So it's just like, all in all, through and through. If you're trying to better their situation, I mean, who's to say that he didn't, do something stupid along the way?
Right.
I mean, who's to say that he didn't, clap at people or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever that entailed for him to have the clout that he had. But in the same token, he took that and tried to transform it into, let me teach, let me educate, let me enlighten, let me lift people up.
Yeah.
And it still came back to bite him.
So that to me makes me think about, is there really a such thing as like a true ride or die, right? Because when we think about it, it's easy to say just in words, like, I have you forever till the end of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But our brains don't really factor in fucking end of time, because what does that look like? It could be tomorrow, it could be 60 years from now, but who's to say?
Sure.
Anything could happen between now and then that makes me change my mind, right? So then has that just negated the whole thought of like ride or die? Is there anything that makes you change your mind about?
Look at Lauren London. This man's been dead 2 years as of today. She's still.
2 years is not a lot of time.
There are people that don't even let the bodies get cold in the ground, baby. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I think in that aspect, that's like more of a personal thing, right? So, do you think she would never date another? You don't think she? I mean, because she's still a young woman.
Yes, but I don't know. I don't think she'll ever love a person like she loved me.
I could see that,
I
but
can see that, yeah.
But I do think that at some point she will move on. She will find somebody else, in the same way with Kobe Bryant's wife.
Yes,
you know,
but they're not gonna let their husband's name die.
Right,
They're not gonna let their thought of them, what they've done for the community, what they did for other people, by making their memory live on. No, they're still riding with them.
And see that part, I get that too, because then we're talking about such huge figures, right? Public figures, to where any man that comes into that situation afterwards is already being compared against both of those men.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's already a hard situation coming in. And I think that just in their unique position of having lost somebody that was that valuable, to the point where people are still celebrating deaths and, you know, like remembering life and stuff like that. That's not really the everyday situation, because it's people sitting in jail right now for something that they did for somebody that they cared about, and that person has gone on and living life.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? But then they don't have that cloud of celebrity hanging over them.
Right.
So do you think that makes it different? Do you think it's easier to ride for somebody?
What, being in the public's
Right.
eye versus not?
Right. Because
No.
then again, we don't know. We can't say for sure whether or not either one of these women have started talking to anybody else.
I mean,
Or,
no,
you
we
know.
can't. But okay, look at Selena's husband, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
They were married. They were only married almost 2 years. Now this man has remarried, but still every year he devotes the Festival of Flowers to his ex-wife.
Yeah.
They go out in Corpus Christi and they throw this huge monumental concert, and they have all the bands, all the groups come. He just wrote a book about her, you know, To My Love, and it's this wonderful book with love letters and pictures and I mean everything. He's married to another woman. He has other children, but he has never let his ex-wife's name die.
Yeah. And see, for me, I think the difference to me in that was those people died, right? So I think it's easier, even as a new woman coming in, to where it's like, we're not together because you stopped loving your wife. We're together because she died, right? She's no longer here, and at some point you just have to pick up your life and move on, right? So, and it's the same way even with Vanessa and with Lauren, to where it's like the people they love died. They didn't have they were taken away from them.
Yeah.
Right, it's not like they're still here. But I think all in all, going back to what you were mentioning before, there would be a difference if that person was not. Because I know I said no, it wouldn't be a difference. But there is a difference with that person being, you know, in the limelight and the screens and, you know, being popular and such, versus somebody just regular old Joe out here on the streets. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to carry on their legacies.
Right.
I think that, yes, truly deep down, those people, for publicity reasons, whatever, do it because you still have the media's eyes out there on you. You know what I'm saying? Versus regular old Joe, you don't have no media's eyes. So you move on.
Right. And I mean, even at that, I think there are people just in everyday life that, let's say I was married and my husband died, but our kid was young when he died. I now have gotten remarried. My husband would have to understand I'm still going to tell stories about this man.
Yeah.
And I'm still going to pay homage to this man because he is still my son's father.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that there are people who still do that, but I think that there is less pressure when you're not in the public eye to be able to like pick up those pieces and move on.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Very true.
Let's talk about ride or die though, and not in a sense of a form of someone dying and you know things like that. Let's talk about the silly decisions sometimes we make.
Well, look at
You know.
Clyde.
Exactly. Let's talk about the silly, because I know I consider myself being a ride or die for somebody, and I made a dumbass decision, and I had never been to jail in my life. You know what I'm saying? And granted, I didn't have to stay in jail forever. I was only it was only 12 hours. But shit, I ain't never had, you know, I ain't never been cuffed. But it was, and it was just all about trying to protect that person, trying to make sure that that person was okay. You know what I'm saying? Letting them know, like, yo, I always got your back. I always got your back.
That's just a woman's nature, period. I mean, like, you know, I always tell people, don't poke the bear. That's always my thing. Anyone that knows me knows that. So, but my thing is this: National Geographic. Y'all watch National Geographic. You see what a bear will do to you about their cubs. It's the same thing. Like, you always want to nurture, love, you know, protect people. I think it's just a natural thing for women.
So do you think?
So are all women bears?
In one way or another, mess with somebody, baby, and see if
Right.
they'll snatch you up.
It's a lot of
It's
mamas
more
who
than
don't
just
care about their
bears.
children.
There's
Yeah, but I mean,
But I feel like there's a lot of mamas who don't care about their children to where like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? To where it's like, oh, okay. Well, shit.
I mean,
Like you
just
should
because
have figured it
have a
out.
kid does not qualify you to be a mom.
Right.
Because I got kids that I ain't spit out.
But I think like
So.
but just generally speaking, like most things are protected about their like birds. Like a goose will fuck you up.
Oh,
if you
yeah.
come anywhere near, you come anywhere near those babies.
You have a better chance living after a goose attack than
I don't even remember. I saved this thing. It was this one animal that will save his own. I can't remember the name of the freaking animal. But if they're about to be attacked, they would freaking throw their own newborns
To
or their own children to, you know, the whatever, try and save their own life.
I feel like I saw that, but I can't remember the animal.
I feel like I posted it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like it would sacrifice his own child to save his life.
I work
That's
for
the-
animals
from
and I'm
the
sitting
male.
here like,
Was it? No, it was.
It was the
It
male.
was the male. Okay.
Mhm. I think I'm pretty sure it was like the male, but then there's a
can't
lot
count
of
for a
like
minute.
I think in
My
like
favorite.
sidetrack, but I think in a lot of animal world, like the men will eat their own children.
Yeah, exactly. Like especially in like lions, they will.
well, it's not in lions. They won't eat their own. They'll
They'll eat
kill
other
the
people's.
other
Other
ones
ones, yeah.
just to take over.
Yeah.
This my shit, and you can't have your offspring up in here.
Yeah.
So okay, so I feel like in the Black community, I feel like there's a lot of shaming attached to people who say stuff like I'm not ride or die, right? Like, do you think it's appropriate to shame people for not being ride or die?
No.
I mean, I think that's in any culture. Because, like, look at Hispanic women. They look like that. I mean, some of them are just like, they're all in, and then some of them, when their man gets deported, they just go find. I mean, it's true. It's very true.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that many Hispanic women. So
Right. I have not seen that that side.
I have. So,
I mean,
I'm not informed.
I'm
enough to
sorry.
make an opinion.
I had a friend, and yep, her man went on deployment for however long, and she sure got no.
Okay, so because he was unemployed,
No.
no.
Deployment.
Oh.
Cross seas.
but did they get together when he came back? Oh, so that was like a temporary situation.
She just got all three.
What?
Monopoly. Hi,
She
family.
just kept them all.
This one Tuesday, that one Wednesday, this one Thursday, that
I
one
need her
Friday.
number. I need to see how she swings that. Child.
Look,
How do you know?
Family. Scratch
Don't-
that.
don't.
She-
I'm just kidding.
we do not condone.
I'm kidding.
We do not condone monopoly, y'all.
Why not?
But I'm
There's so
kidding.
many. There's so
Or
many.
am I?
Listen,
Because when you playing it, you're playing with fire.
But not if everybody's
But no,
on board with it.
No,
That's
no.
if everybody's on board, and
Because
that
we
goes.
talked about this last season about polygamy and all. It has to be.
It has to
consented.
be right consented.
If
But that's
it's
what
not
I'm saying.
consented, that's completely different.
Yeah, that wasn't consented.
Okay, but you know,
Hey, could you have more than one husband?
I would love to.
Legally, no.
Not legally. I'm just saying.
I'm just.
I would
If
love
somebody
to.
would say, okay, all right,
If they was both down,
Anything-
yes.
you said that way too quick.
She said it
No,
very,
And
very
I'm
quickly.
serious.
And I could.
I've
you
been
do
saying
the
it for
laundry,
years.
you wash the dishes.
I've been saying
You
I've
take care
been
of the kids,
saying that
you
for
do the dog.
years.
But when you think about it, you think about how multifaceted we are as women, right? So, so here's just my take on it. This is a complete sidebar from what we were really talking about. But
Sorry.
this is
Talk
my
about
take on
Ride or
it.
Die.
Come on, you gotta hear this out, right?
Okay.
So you think about women and the complexities that come with us, right? We don't particularly. There's so many different aspects of us. Like I might be intrigued by the intellectual guy this day, and the
Yeah.
artistic guy that day, and the fit guy
Absolutely.
this day, and the funny guy that day, and they're generally all don't come in the one person, right?
Well,
Now,
no.
hold on. So it's very rare that you find all of those personalities and all of those skills and all that in one person.
He gay.
No, no.
Family.
No, hold on. But then you
It ain't
think
nothing
about
against that, y'all. I swear to
but,
God.
but hold on,
My shirt on you.
but when you think about it and you think even from like men, I think they're more simple than we are. There's not a whole lot of different aspects to a man. You ask a man like what he wants in a woman, and 9 out of 10, a man will sleep with just about anybody. Right? So it's not even, it's like, is she female? Does she have a vagina? Is she like gonna nag me? So they're more simple about things that move them in life, right? So that's why it's like, I don't really care. She doesn't even have to have like an award-winning personality, right? But she makes me feel good about who I am.
Hell, half of them don't care if she got legs.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
So, and that's why I think
Please
the
do not
idea,
discriminate against this.
but I mean the truth is the
No,
truth.
the truth is it's bottom line. Truth is out there. A dude will sit here and screw whatever pussy throw his way or whatever he can get into. We have, like she said before, we have more emotions in ours. We have more compassion in ours. Some of us do. Some of us do. You got some of them
Yeah, because I'm about to say, I've seen them hopscotch, double dutch, and
monopolize all that.
Right.
I get that.
Right.
what a different person.
We got some guy. We got like
We
a
got
lot
some
of
guys, a lot of guys.
commenting and watching and commenting,
Okay.
and so they want to hop in here.
All right.
Go ahead.
Keon, he says.
Hey, Keon.
Hey,
Hey,
Keon.
Keon. Oh, it said hey too. Hey,
Hey,
Stacey.
Hey,
Loyalty could be dangerous, is what
Mhm.
Keon says, and he thinks that loyalty causes a need to be obligated. It thrives off of guilt.
That's a good point.
Go.
Wait a minute. Loyalty and conveniency are not the same thing, family. Please remind yourself of this because a lot of people use that. You're not loyal to the cause. You're not this, that, and that.
Now,
But I
That's my
mean,
disclaimer.
I think that that's a valid,
Sassy.
a good and valid
Like you do two
statement.
things.
You
I think that's a good and valid statement in regards to loyalty thriving
Don't
off
do me.
of guilt because it makes you, it makes people feel as though
she's still handing.
and
family.
it
The
makes you
whole
feel like
series is on
you're not
Netflix.
dedicated to me and you don't love me
Mhm.
because you're not loyal to me.
Yeah, because you're not willing to do this for me. That means that you
Okay.
don't.
Again.
I mean, going back to that. That's going back to the whole teenage. If you love me, you'll have sex with me.
Yeah.
Like
I'm guilting you into doing
That's the
what I
whole
want
guilt
to do.
trip.
But that's what people do. That's what narcissistic
Mhm.
people do.
which is very true. Very true. I'm a victim of that.
You know, people
To
guilt
where you have to
into doing-
eventually
getting what
like,
they
you know
want.
what? I'm good.
I have a trunk, y'all. We just ain't got time.
Well,
Okay.
you know we can't just
We
go
can't-
around
We
killing
can't
everybody.
put them all in the trunk.
We can't put them all
Says
in there.
who? You ain't never seen a lady.
All right. So now
Marlon.
chimes in and he says, to be honest, everyone wants one partner with all the main qualities of the multiple partners
Thank
that
you.
the multiple partners possess. That's true. But,
But it
guess
doesn't
what?
exist.
It doesn't always happen. So if I can live in a world where I can have 2 or more men decide that it's okay to be at one big happy family, I would love to take it.
Okay, but that means you gotta argue with 2 people.
I don't have to argue with anyone.
Okay. Every day is not gonna be peaches and roses.
Every day is not gonna be peaches and roses, but I make the choice every day.
Mm.
Every single day of my life, I make a choice whether or not I'm gonna fight this battle or not. And there are gonna be a lot of battles that I'm like, we're not doing this. Not today. Now you could be upset if you want to, but we're not gonna do this.
Well, the last person told me we weren't doing something, I almost knocked them out. So
Well, they can get to knocking. That's why I got another husband. Okay, somebody gonna get their ass jumped on.
Okay.
Let me go get hubby B, because hubby A is acting.
But see, and I do,
Acting a motherfucking fool.
and I think there's so many times. I think there's so many times in life that what we want does not line up with what's reality, right? Because yeah, it would be ideal if I could just have to deal with one person that had everything that I wanted. But when have you ever found that that person would almost be perfect?
But there
That shit
is
don't
no
exist.
perfect world.
That's what I'm saying.
though.
That's what I'm
That
saying.
doesn't exist.
But it doesn't exist because
I wouldn't even say that you could find somebody who satisfies 90% of what you want.
Oh, no,
you
that's not
eventually will get bored and
You
tired.
can find somebody that provides
Yes.
90% of what you
90%,
want.
at least
90.
Yeah, 90.
From height
yes.
to color
Yep.
No
to
neck.
weight to money,
No neck.
right? To money,
That's my
to personality,
Okay, but
to
first off-
children,
wait a minute.
to like actual qualities.
Okay.
90% is a lot.
Yeah.
Like we as when we don't satisfy 90% of what men want.
No.
90% is a
Probably
lot.
not. But yeah.
90% is a lot.
85.
I'm just saying, people were excited about a vaccine that gave 80%.
Oh no, they on drugs. Cause first
But
of
it's
all,
true.
Let's
80% is 80%.
80% is 80%. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's why they call it like the 80-20 rule. 90 is very high, and I think 80 is almost high.
I mean, but that's still
Here's the thing. I don't care.
going back to my train.
I don't care. I don't give a damn. No, you're not going to find anybody that possesses all of the qualities that you want. But you don't want that, really, in actuality. Because if you were to have that, what do you have to fight back with you? You know,
Make that make sense.
okay, I'm going to make it make sense. If you have somebody that has everything that you want,
You're not gonna want them.
exactly, you're going to want something new, some challenge, some type of different, some type
those two
of.
things are different though.
No, they're not. Because if you have somebody that has everything that you wanted, say for instance, looks, humor, all this stuff, you're going to start expecting that from him to where you just like,
It wouldn't be
okay, I already know that's
expect.
gonna happen.
That or you're looking
Huh?
for
It would
something
be-
wrong. No,
but
you're gonna look for
hold on.
something wrong. We're human.
But we only feel like that because we are human, and because we don't know what perfect looks like.
Which is
But
there, and that's what I'm
yeah.
saying.
So
Because
that's
you
what I'm
want
saying.
some
Like, so
type
we
of
can-
you
we-
want some type of bumping of heads.
And that's only because that's what we're used to. But
That's
just
what makes us
imagine-
human.
Right. But
What?
imagine a space, right? Like
Right.
somebody asked me once, and at the time I was young and I was frustrated. I was like, "You stupid," and he made me mad because he was right, but I didn't want to admit he was right. So it's true. And this was like 21-year-old version of me, and he said something and it made sense. And he was like, "If you could go back and live life without making any mistakes, would you do it?" And I was like, "Fuck no," because that made me and this and this and that. And he was like,
Yeah, do all of it.
"So yeah."
Well,
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
She had the neck roll.
Yeah,
I
She had the
mean,
neck
we
roll.
all shit. She can't help them.
So when you think about it, and it wasn't until I got older and realized, like, yes, the mistakes make us who we are. But if we could be who we are without having to go through like the struggles of that pain, yeah, that would be fucking ideal. Like,
No,
yes, if I
it
had, I mean, that would be the epitome of living in a perfect world. We didn't have to argue. Every day was sunshine and
Nobody-
roses
nobody
and walks
wants
on the
it.
beach.
That's the
Nobody
thing.
wants you.
Some of the most
But why-
perfect,
but why
great
is
things
that a
came
thing?
from mistakes.
Why can't we not? Just like we can't imagine infinity and we can't imagine forever. Why can we not imagine living in a world and in a relationship that is peace and harmonious?
Right.
Because you wouldn't want it. You'd be bored.
How do you know
You
that?
would wake up every day and have nothing to do.
I think that's not true.
I think that's insane.
yeah.
No.
My opinion is I would be bored.
Because that's what you're used to.
No.
But if you can get outside of thinking what you've already dealt with and think of literally just being in a constant state of happiness, the thing that we are all chasing, the reason why people get high, the reason why people drink, the reason why everybody does, the reason why people go out and have sex with strangers, right? People are seeking.
Wait a minute now. Wait a
But-
minute. No.
But
I
it's
mean,
people.
but it's
I'm not
true.
saying that. I'm not
It
saying
is.
that. I'm not saying that you do. But I'm saying there are people out there that, for that moment, that is the thing that gives them happiness.
No.
But if you were able to live in a space where it's just
It
constant
doesn't make
peace
them
and
happy.
happiness,
It doesn't make them happy. That is a constant fear. It is an adrenaline rush. It's a drug addict. That's what I'm
Which
saying.
produces-
It still brings a drama. It still brings a tragedy. It still brings some kind of altercation to your life.
There is
I know
always
so.
some type of.
but in the midst of when you're doing it, you happy.
No, you're not. Sometimes you walk around somebody
Because
like, that was the worst person.
So why would
Because
you do it? Why would you do it?
Because it was
If it
does.
Well, I don't do shit just to do it.
Listen, wait a minute. You can't tell me you done not rolled around with somebody that you were like, damn, I could have had a V8 and some D batteries and did the same
No.
damn thing myself.
No.
I have.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Everybody that I have sex with is very intentional.
No, it's intentional, but it might not always fit the purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, it might not always be what you intended it to be.
What do you mean?
Like, okay, like having one night stands. Like, if you have a one night stand with somebody and you're like, damn, that really was.
It wasn't really that good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that's different because there are people who are like, I intended to go and have a one night stand.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. You intended to do it, but it did not feed the appetite. You're still wanting somebody that's gonna do what Mr. Wonderful did.
But see, the thing is, but you're comparing. We're talking about two different things there because you are comparing this to that. I'm talking just in a general space of if you were always happy, there was no drama, there was no yelling, hooping and hollering. But then again, it says a lot about like you as what moves you, because I'm like, shit, if I could wake up every day and just be happy and not have to like hoop and holler and scream and just be in a state of peace to where I could literally just be my best me every day without somebody who's taking me out of my character, without somebody who's like causing me stress and drama, why would I not want that?
But on some levels, that person, you may think that this is, causing you stress or whatever, but that is actually making you a better person.
In what way?
It's making you stronger. Like, you may get tired of this person aggravating you about, babe, just go ahead and do this. Go ahead and push forward for this business. And that may be aggravating the hell out of you.
Mm-hmm.
But for you to actually do it makes you a better person. It betters you.
I can see that.
Or if you have that nagging other half bugging you about, why don't you just go work out? Why don't you just go work out? Stop complaining. That is sometimes reverse psychology.
But so real quick. So I have to say that it's all, to me, just a matter of perspective, and it's a matter of priority, and it's a matter of what's important to you. Because some of the happiest people that I've met have been poor, homeless people who have the luxury of living on an island that has everything provided for them. They have everything that they need, and there's nothing that's stressing them out, right? So they wake up every day, they live in paradise. It's like, ooh, I can walk over here and pluck this from this tree. What is there to be mad about? What is there to be upset about? So I think we have gotten into such a culture of where it's like the good thing to be stressed out, and that's somehow making us better people and building character, to be like hooping and hollering, which is a lot of what we even talked about how that borderline gets to be abusive, and we don't even notice that it's abuse. Because we look for the struggle, because we find comfort in the struggle, because that's what we used to.
True. But nobody wants a man that's going to always, yes dear, do this, do that. There's no
Women do.
individual.
But that's not necessarily what I mean. But if we are like operating in a space where I have everything that you desire to make you comfortable, and you have everything that I desire to make me comfortable, if we get bored, we'll go on vacation. We'll play Uno. You know what I mean? But me arguing with you is not we're not doing that for
Yeah.
sport.
No,
No, I'm not.
I'm not. Mm-mm.
I ain't got that kind of patience.
Oh.
I don't. I will not. She'll tell you real quick. I will not argue with you, and I will not talk about the same thing more than twice.
Mhm.
I ain't got that kind of patience. So, arguing for me and having a constant debate with people is not exciting, and it does not bring me joy.
Mhm.
And that ain't gonna make me want you. That's gonna make me fucking leave
Yeah.
real fucking quick. I'll be like, all right, cool.
Off you go.
Off to
Like,
see the wizard.
I could go kick it with somebody who ain't gonna do all this. It's gonna be somebody that's gonna be happy just to see me smile.
Yeah.
They just want to make me happy. That's why I'm just like, I know I can live in a world with peace and harmony with somebody. I ain't gonna keep arguing back and forth with you. I can almost guarantee you, every person that I've dated, they have seen that. They're like, oh, okay, do you think we're gonna argue? Oh, okay. I'm gonna show you. You gonna argue by yourself.
That's a skill that I'm really trying to learn because I ain't there yet.
You gonna argue by yourself.
I don't
And
say
when
that.
you
I ain't
decide,
there yet.
once
Oh,
you
no, we
decide
gonna
that,
go
okay, she ain't playing about this arguing shit, we gonna come back with our lives all the way together. Oh, you wanna argue again? We good. I ain't got time.
It makes sense to me.
9:24.
But that's also because I've lived in a household. My mom's not watching, but I don't want to put her business out there like that. I've lived in a household where shit has been crazy.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have patience for that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, it's a direct derivative. They say
Yeah.
when people are around, arguments or around confrontation,
Mhm.
they either become confrontational or they veer the other way.
Mhm.
Same thing with drug addicts. Either if you come from an addictive family, you either become a drug addict or you veer away from it. I mean,
I
it's
just don't have it in me.
Well,
So, okay. So as we get ready to wrap up,
we off our subject.
I know.
We did.
Run it down, y'all. This supposed to be run it down.
But I do feel, but I still feel like
20 more minutes, we can still talk.
But I feel like they're still kind of related in what we were just talking about, because then it's like there's so many people that are living in that state of where they are truly unhappy, but because I've said like, oh yeah, I'm ride or die and I'm gonna stick with that shit, even though this person is mistreating me, even though this isn't what I really want, even though this person fucking, you know what I mean, like whatever that is, it's like that to me is still where that ride or die culture for us as Black people gets to be an issue.
Well, look at your
I would just-
vow. Look at what you.
Oh shit.
You stand
That's what
before
you said.
God, and you tell these people you obey, you do this, you that. No,
I'm
I ain't
not
saying-
obeying. I'm sorry.
I took that part out of mine, but but you.
So what did your wedding vow say?
Yeah. yeah. Okay. Here's a ring. There you go. But we're no longer married, so that's okay. That was one of them Tuesday. I woke up on Monday kind of expeditions. Like, don't do that, family. Don't do that. Because that's really how that went. What are you doing on Tuesday? Nothing. Okay, let's get married. That's how that went.
Okay.
But again, the whole thing that you will love, honor, cherish. Oh, well, we took the obey.
Be obedient.
But, yeah, obedient. We took that shit out too. I'm sorry, stuff. But it's programmed into people, I think. You see all these different people that, when they're married, before they get married, everything's fine. Then you get married and everything goes left.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you were never abused and got married and then all of a sudden got abused.
But it's really the same thing even when people enter in like relationships, right? To where it's like when we were friends, it was like everything was cool. Then we got together, and then
And
now all of a
changed.
sudden,
Everything went
because now what you expect me to do has changed, or what your expectations about what this should be have changed, right? And even like with homeboy that was on the phone earlier, that's what he was. But that was what he was talking about. Where so many times we get so programmed into feeling like we have to have this title of relationship instead of embracing the human experience.
And that connection. Right. I enjoy that. Like, I enjoy being in a relationship that doesn't necessarily say that we're boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, if we can say to each other, like, we are committed to one another, And that's that. Like, I don't need for you to gallivant me around in these streets.
Mm-hmm.
I really prefer you not to. Just be committed to me and loyal to me.
See, I'm the opposite way. If you're in my sheets, you better be with me in these streets because I make too many moves. I run around. I'm around too many people. So I need people to recognize your face. One, so there's no disrespect. Two, so there's no misunderstanding on who you are and why you're near me and what you're doing with me. Because that could be real ugly.
But
on
that,
other people's part?
On other people's part or on his part.
but I feel like that's a person that you're dealing with issue. You can't put that on everybody else, because I think that even if there's so many people that I know that will bring this person, that person around, and then have a whole wife at the house. You know what I mean? So what does being in the streets like really mean these days?
Well, I mean, my thing is this: like, I don't ever want it to be misconstrued. Like, okay, if somebody's always around me and my person sees this person always around me, like, what is this person to you? Like, do you roll around with this person? But you know, because they see, like, men have another problem with you having a lot of men friends.
But if your person knows that they're your person, and they know that, like, and they know that you don't have anything else going on with someone else, then that shouldn't
Somebody
be.
wanted it. Somebody wanted it. Family, make your own drink, damn it.
Then that shouldn't be an issue.
Mm-hmm.
It
that's
shouldn't.
That's what I'm
theoretically.
saying. And for me, I refuse. I no longer live in an aspect of where I am mistrusting of what you say to me, because when you tell me when you say something to me, that your word is supposed to be your bond.
Okay.
And if I find that you lie to me and you fuck up,
the trunk is available.
if you fuck up, then I have the choice at that point to continue to deal with you or to not deal with you.
Exactly.
So I trust what you tell me.
But the shoe should be on the other foot. That's what I'm saying. When you're telling your
That's
person,
a commitment.
yeah, telling your person, listen, this right here, this is family. This right here, this is my brother. And then that's the other scenario that goes sideways. There's some people that call each other brother and sister, and they done rotated down the line somewhere down the line, and they played double dutch, hopscotch, and hula hoop together.
Right. That's why, and that's a big reason why I don't call men my brothers, cousins, uncles, and you know what I mean, unless they're literally my brother or cousins or uncles.
No, I do, because I know how to restrict that. If I'm looking at you as my brother,
yeah,
then that's what you are. You're my brother. You know, if I look at you any other kind of ways, and I'm like, you are not my brother. No, you're
yeah.
not.
To me, it's just
You
like
know,
personal. To me, it's personal preference. And I had this conversation with somebody earlier today, and he asked me, he's like, "What percentage of your male friends do you think want to sleep with you?"
I would say, what's your percentage?
I said 80.
Oh,
I would
5%.
say the opposite. I would say 20.
Of her male
Of
friends,
my
or your
male
male
friends.
Okay.
What's your
Okay,
answer?
wait a minute. That's how. Okay, you think 20% of them will, or 20% would tell you?
No, you said 20. What percentage?
I said 80% of my friends, like people that male
Right.
friends that I've had in my life.
That they
And most of
would
them
roll around with you?
Yes.
They want to.
Okay, but okay.
Yeah.
Would they tell you?
Yeah.
I think that only 20% of my male friends that have been in my life for this entire time wanted to.
Roll around with you. See, I don't know.
And I believe that the ones that did say that they did, they were honest about it.
See, I just, mine have been through the
Oh no,
trenches.
yeah, I said your numbers too, girl.
Yeah,
'cause-
come on, come
yeah,
on,
what
sis.
percentage for you?
That's a nice drink. That's a real nice ice. That ice is real. It's melting and stuff.
And again, that's the reason. Just because I
Okay.
view people as family does not mean that they always do.
True.
And so it's like one of those things. I'm never gonna hide it, especially if it's somebody that I'm with, right?
I have a mid to high percentage.
I need numbers.
Oh, Ebony, you poked the bear
Tell me
today.
your number.
I'm not.
You did.
I mean, guess
Between-
We're not saying say names. I don't
80
say
to
numbers.
80 to 85%,
Yeah.
which is, I'm not going any higher because I have
Never go
to
higher.
shut up. I have to limit it to if I say you are my brother, like I said, I don't see you as anything else. Which is very true. And if you literally have shown, you know, any type of change, I remind you, I see you as my brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you see. And it's still the way I carry myself, because if I see this guy friend seeming like he has more interest than my brother would have, then I will change my whole character.
But I do think that it's almost like a natural thing for men who find women attractive to, it's like, yeah, maybe we developed a friendship, but I can almost guarantee the majority of your male friends have at some point thought about having sex with you.
Yes, and yeah.
I mean, why is that so hard to believe?
It's not hard to believe, because I mean, we are all.
Maybe
I'm not saying anything, but all of us are gorgeous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And half the time, most of the men, before they became your friend, looked at you in some type of way before they became your friend. You know, when they said, hey, you know, what's your name, they probably looked at you some kind of way, bottom line. And eventually, it just became...
Right, we're talking about friends that you've met at least from, like, an older standpoint. Because we
Correct.
know you have a lot
Older.
of friends that from, like,
since
like
childhood.
middle school.
But I mean,
which
as
I
far
think
as...
kind of changes the dynamic there.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as we're older now, you know, that we've developed, that we've, you know, overcome a lot of, you know, obstacles and stuff, the way you look now. You're doing makeup, you got your face beat and all that stuff. So a lot of men that you consider your friends now, your guy friends, your brothers, your homies, whatever, probably in the beginning when they first approached you, probably saw you as, oh, she is cute. And some of them probably will tell you, you know, you my little sister, or you my big sister, whatever, you gorgeous as hell. That don't mean it's going to go south with us. And I tell you straight up, like, look.
And I'm not even speaking on intention and how it could change, but the conversation that I had today, which I think would be another interesting conversation to have, is about putting people in the friend zone and how that happens. Because this man, the guy that I was actually talking to today.
Oh, I thought that was Booski.
No. So he was
she got a whole head scratch.
I had no. So I had to call like the maintenance guy to my house, and that was the person who showed up to my house to fix my garbage disposal. And he was just
we're talking about apartment
and he was just
office people again.
So and he was just really cool. So I was like, he fixed the step to the porch and all of this like in the rain, right?
Do all that repair.
I mean, and so he was cool, and he was like, hey, you know, like,
a little bit short.
no, girl.
The little love shorts.
She had on cheerleading shorts, the cut me shorts.
No. And so that was the thing, like, that was the thing for me. He was very intentional about, like, you not putting me in the friend zone.
You going outside in the hiking.
But see, okay, for those guys like that refuse to want to enter the friend zone, that's why I say I have to change my way of how I carry myself around that person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want that person to think I might have a chance. No, you don't.
Or do you just stop being their friend?
I'm not. No. I'm never gonna be phony like that. Now,
it's not. I don't think it's being phony though.
To me, that is being phony. If
I
I call
talking to people who
myself,
kept pushing it out.
Yeah, if you're pushing a boundary,
Oh, yeah.
if you have drawn a line in the sand and someone
well, not that's
continues
different.
to
No.
tiptoe across that bitch, do you
I like that.
Tiptoe. She drinking hot toddy, y'all. Ask her what's in that hot
like to stop being their friend or not?
I like allergy Nakia.
Yes.
This is allergy serious, Nakia.
This is
Okay.
But you know how I feel about my lines drawn in the sand.
Yeah.
Which I get that, but what I'm saying is I'm not even at that point where I had to do that. You know, I had to stop you from tiptoeing, or I had to tiptoe, whatever. I'm not even at that level. I'm at the part where if you've already expressed to me, yo, you is too fine for me to just be on your friend zone, then I carry myself differently. Now, if you keep trying, then that's when you're gonna get your feelings hurt.
I think that's the point. I see, and that's what I think you got it misconstrued. I feel like when that comment is made, that's the point when you need to shut shit down.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. I'm going to carry myself differently, and if
You
still
shouldn't have to change who you are to be around somebody. You need to change how you deal with that person, and that means fuck you. You ain't my friend.
No.
No, it's true.
You not my friend.
It's true.
And I need to keep going on. I need to go and be with
Especially
my friends.
because if you
because my friends have never None of my male, not one of my male friends has ever come to me in that way. Not one. And the one that has is because I was interested in him too.
Oh,
That's the only person.
you was on double dutch and hopscotch with him.
I was.
Oh, well, you know.
I was. But I never drew a line in the sand with him.
But okay, well, my thing is this: there are a lot of people that are entirely way too like. Even if you're nice to them, they take it entirely the wrong way. If you give somebody a ride, oh, she wants me. What?
Yeah.
Of course they
Yeah.
want me.
Yeah.
That's when you be like, okay, like,
Oh, I gave a dude a ride one day. He was stranded over at his homeboy's house. His homeboy asked me, Angel, can you give my dude a ride down the street? Yeah. 10 minutes later, I get a call. Hey, my homeboy thinks you want him. Want him? He got left and right Nike. He smells funny. Like,
You
I
ain't
can't do nothing with
you ain't
that.
never got to talk to his homeboy again, though.
No, but I had to chump him.
But see, that's the thing. We're talking about people that you have friendships with, that you have established a relationship with,
But,
right? Because to me, if somebody's new coming into your life and they tell you something like that, but you're not attracted,
I'm fine
and you
with
say,
that.
hey, like, no, I ain't rocking like that, but then they continue to push, like, you don't have to be friends with that person.
No, I have a trunk.
Okay, all right.
I mean,
Let's get this comment.
I'm like, I gotta see this trunk. Ain't no telling what's up in there.
Right.
No, don't
Okay.
make yourself an accessory.
I actually like this Chardonnay.
So this is the Clos du Bois.
Hello, Deborah.
It's a Chardonnay.
Oh, I have
California.
muscadine wine too.
Oh.
Y'all want to try some?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or do you want to do it next week?
Okay, no, I'll leave it.
Oh wait, what we just talked about?
Swirl.
All right. Let's
All right.
taste this. Any more comments?
Oh, I like this.
Monica dipped out on us. We was having too much fun, and she had to go.
This
back
is
to work.
actually pretty good. I don't like Chardonnay.
Yeah,
Keon says,
We gotta go all the way back, honey.
okay.
Oh, it's a lot of comments.
Keon
That's a
said
lot.
most women like drama.
Oh, wait a minute, Keon.
You just sat here and said that y'all like that shit because y'all would be bored if you didn't have it.
No,
You
I did
did.
not say
Roll
drama.
back the tape.
Roll it back. I did not say drama. Didn't say drama.
I got teeth. I got teeth for real.
Sip your
Let me
tea.
sip my teeth.
Sip your tea with your lemon and spoon.
Fuck
Y'all
out
just
of
said
here.
it.
Anyway.
Y'all just said it, child. Keon.
Whatever. Remember that, Keon. Remember that.
Go to bed.
Remember that, Keon.
And he says some men accept drama to entertain their women.
Mm.
Men have to learn how to. Hold on.
Mm-mm.
Men have to learn how to implement a little drama. He's like, something is ride or die is a gamble. And he says Angel is saying that she's eliminating all excuses and being proactive. Everyone has contemplated what would happen. That's why you use titles like brother, sister, homie to establish what your expectations are.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
I can
But you
understand.
know what? I'm not
But
fine
I
about
shouldn't
that
have
boyfriend thing. I'm not. I feel funny being almost 40 and introducing somebody as my boyfriend.
And that's why, that's specifically why I said, I don't need you to call me your your girlfriend. And I don't need to call you my boyfriend. As long as we have an established respect for each other and I can trust your word and your word is your bond, then we are all good.
Okay, I hate to say this though, but a lot of people take that no title as a gray area. So it's like, oh, I can go do this and
But
fuck
that's-
with
No, that's where the
What I'm-
understanding
the
comes in.
understanding comes in, like, we have had a discussion that this is what we're doing.
Okay,
We are in a relationship.
we've done that. And it came back to bite me in the royal tuchus when I tell you.
Well,
The
it,
left cheek and
Gotcha.
the right cheek.
it works. It worked out for me, and in a few situations.
Listen,
It didn't work out in a few, and the few that it didn't, it was
well, my
fine.
trunk is always available.
All right. Final words. Other than my trunk is
Oh,
always
shit.
available. Any more
Well, that's her
comments on
tagline,
that? Was there? We gonna get her a shirt.
That's on.
That's
It's
it.
a trunk for me.
and mine is gonna be "Don't tiptoe across that bitch."
Yes. Is that the Nakia? What is it? Nakia Logic?
Right.
The Nakia allergy logic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tuckisms is what.
Tuckisms.
Tuckisms.
Oh yeah, that's what it is.
Don't tiptoe
Okay, well I
across
got
that bitch.
Nakia.
Was there any
Allergy
other comments
Logic.
out of
No,
that?
that was it.
Okay. Final words. City.
Thanks for
See what?
Hi.
Hey.
Okay, it's wet. Ain't got no hair in the bed.
Oh,
My final words are: be the ride or die, but be smart about the choices that you make with that ride or die. Make sure that is the person that you want to be full ride or die.
Tiffany chimed in.
Hey Tiffany, Tutisms.
I said Nakia Logic.
You know, ride or die can literally have you ride or have you die. So make sure that's who you want that to be with, whether it's a friend or, you know, a significant other. Make better choices with those ride or dies, because you have to make a decision. Is it going to be reciprocated? You know, so there you go.
It's dumb.
Okay,
hey y'all.
Where your Tutism?
Well,
We just need a little segment called Tutism.
Tutism.
well, shit.
Can you just come up with a Tutism for the week?
No.
I don't even know. I
See a
can't.
feature.
Cross that line.
Don't
Tiptoe across that line, bitch.
Line, bitch.
That across that T.
No, I mean, I feel like in regards to the right eye, just because I know what I recall what it's like to feel like I wanted to be in that position. Yo, ain't nobody gonna ever be there for you the way you're gonna be there for yourself. The first law of nature is self-preservation. And you should always protect yourself first and never feel bad about it. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right.
Hi, family.
All right, Trump driver.
Yeah.
Go ahead to go follow that shit. Good luck, girl. Good luck. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
know. I really.
She gonna put her in the Trump mix.
No, that's my kid. Anyways, no, family, listen. Ride or die, either way. Make sure it's for the right reason, the right person. Because guess what? When you take your last breath, that box only fits one person in it.
No, not necessarily. You get a special name.
No,
Oh,
one
no.
person, one person per box. You only get you only get 1 6 feet. You only get one box.
Yes.
Unless you're in my truck. But anyway,
Oh.
it fits two. But other than that,
Oh,
no, just
that sounded like a message.
Shots fired. We're gonna be nice today. We're gonna be nice today. But listen, yes, all mess aside, family, just make sure self comes first. Don't take any shorts, no buy clauses, no nothing. Do what makes you happy. And anybody that stands in the way of that, send them on their way.
Okay. So my final words are, I think that we should really shift from the ride or die culture to, I might ride till the wheels fall off, right? So once
That might be as soon as it come out the parking lot.
No, soon as the tire go flat, she get out.
yeah, so the wheels fall off, right? A flat tire, that can be repaired.
That can be repaired.
That
Well,
could be
like I
repaired.
said, that
It
wheel can
depends
fall
on who-
off right there in the
It
driveway.
depends on who loosened the lug nuts now too.
Right. So all I'm saying is, unless your name is Evan, Gwen, or Ray,
Jesus.
I'm sorry, I love y'all, but I ain't going to jail.
I ain't fucking with none of y'all.
I ain't going to jail for none of y'all. So don't do no silly shit around me, cause I'm telling. Okay?
You snitching!
If it means I'm going to jail,
You better just turn
Her
your
name
head
ain't Lil' Kim.
are you crazy?
Her name ain't Lil' Kim. What you think this is?
Shit.
Lil' Kim did some
So you
time.
telling me that I do some shit?
No, I let it
You part of
No,
it,
I
and they
let
say,
it
listen.
place.
Now we know it was Ebony.
No.
We
You
know.
might
that
know.
you
I
know.
know it was
If
If you know, then why you asking me?
But then either way, but you caught in it too, and
And
you have the
you going
opportunity.
to jail.
So I got
some
some
money.
I got some shit. Hold
But
on. I'm gonna make it even simpler than this. I'm riding around. I got drugs, but we in your car. We get pulled over. They find the drugs.
That's
Right?
happened.
In your car.
In my
That's
car.
happened.
Your responsibility,
Got it.
unless I claim it.
True.
Right? So if I sit there, I'm like, right? So
That's on you.
you gonna be like, Ebony, you know that's your shit, girl.
Officer,
Own
please,
your shit.
officer, please fingerprint that shit, because you ain't gonna find not nan lick of my fingerprints on
Well,
that
that's
shit.
snitching.
It doesn't matter.
That ain't me snitching. That's just telling you to go check the fingerprints.
But either way,
I ain't
it's just-
snitching.
it-
That could have been the next
my
door neighbor
fingerprints
fingerprints.
does not matter. My fingerprints could be on it, but it's in your car. Your
And
responsibility.
that's possession.
For
Guess
you.
what?
Possession is 9 tenths of the law.
9/10 of the
Listen,
law, which
hey,
is
like,
very
that's why you
understandable.
don't do crazy stuff like that. You don't put people in your car, but at the end of the day,
So, no,
you
but this
say-
is, but this
No,
is,
it's
this is
real.
real
Take
question.
your
That's a
But
real
at the
scenario.
But
That is the
No.
realest scenario to ride or die.
Which
That's
is
what
very
fucking
true, but
is.
that's where you know who the fuck you fucking with.
Right.
Exactly.
So how can you be
If
mad
I
at me?
know
Because
you-
I'm telling you up front, don't do no silly shit around me because I'm not going to jail for your ass.
Then okay, you've already set the standards.
Just saying.
Then
So
your
that-
real
but see,
people,
but-
who
but
your
hold
real
on.
people who fuck with
You
you.
not going and you snitching is two different things, baby.
No, listen.
Hold on now.
No, the thing is,
Wait a
now
minute.
if I get pulled over my car and it's your shit and you not claiming it, because at the end of the day, even if you do claim it, I could still fucking go down because you
Exactly.
brought this shit in my car.
True.
So that's
why
all
you
I'm.
don't put-
I'm
but-
finna show that
but here-
officer
but hold on. But
my
listen,
my,
no,
my
hold on,
ways
hold
and
on,
everything. I
hold
just
on.
picked this
Hold
motherfucker
on,
up.
listen. Now I'm gonna tell you, y'all just demonstrated how toxic this fucking culture is. Because when I'm sitting here telling you, I'm gonna
I'm like,
say it.
hell.
I'm fucking saying it.
She's being
I'm
clear.
not spending 10 years of my life because of some shit that you wanted to do. And your ass gonna be running around here free. You ain't sending me no money on my books. You ain't writing no letter. You out here doing what you want to do. And my ass locked up. No, hold on, because this is how toxic it is. Because it's true, and the shit
And
happens.
that shit
every day.
happens every day.
My cousin did 5 years in a federal prison because of some shit like that. So but even as I said, it's like, oh shit, you snitching?
No, it's not about.
It's like, fuck yes,
No.
I am.
Okay,
It's,
wait.
it's not
I ain't gonna
about
tell-
it's not about snitching. It's the fact of what you put yourself into. You know, if you are already with some shady ass motherfuckers, then guess what? You setting yourself up.
Right.
If
Well,
you
I wouldn't
already
even say
know
shady. I wouldn't even
whether
say
they
shady.
shady or dumb ass
First
motherfuckers
of
that
all,
want
but
attention.
would you-
We live in Georgia.
Would you give up your
We
life for somebody
ain't
you call
living.
shady? That ain't even your fucking friend.
I wouldn't even be around them.
Listen,
If I don't fucks with you, I don't fucks with you. I ain't around you.
pause. I know we was doing final comment. Pause.
Look, this is part two and one.
First of all, we live in Georgia. I'm gonna give you two different scenarios.
Yep.
So just so y'all understand, we live in Georgia.
Mhm.
Weed ain't legal.
Yet.
It's not at this very moment.
Around
31.
950p.
It is not legal. And if you carrying a certain amount of weed in your car
Mm-hmm.
and you get pulled over
Mm-hmm.
and whoever's in the car, well, you don't smoke, I don't smoke.
You're all gonna
I don't smoke either.
I don't smoke.
Okay,
But
y'all
my
gonna-
passenger does. And they drop their weed. Now, they may not even have dropped it. It might have fell out their damn
Pocket.
pocket.
Right.
Accidentally. They was in their purse, blah, 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 blah. It fell out. It's dark. We ain't know. It's on the floor. It is now not in their possession, but in mine. The car got searched. Whose weed is it? It's in my car. It's mine. Possession is 9 tenths of the law.
Mhm.
Now we're gonna talk about this next scenario. How many of y'all know people that have a riding beverage? We all do.
Shit, we all do.
How many of y'all sometimes have an open bottle in your car that's not in the trunk?
Mm-hmm.
What happens?
I
when
feel
you-
like that's a TikTok thing.
What happens when you get pulled over? And what if somebody had that in their car? They got in your car. They put it in the side little pocket just to hold it because it was in their back pocket,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't want to sit on it. Y'all get pulled over. Whose is that? Yours.
Again.
That's not somebody intentionally doing something to fuck you
No.
over.
But
Those
that
are
happens.
all
Okay, but
situations
okay,
and
it happens.
accidents.
That's
Which
what I'm
is
saying.
true, and this is what I'm saying is you know who you rocks with. You know who rocks with you. They know who you are. They know, oh, I'm finna get in car. Let me not even carry this shit on me. You know what I'm saying? Those are people who really rocks with you. Those are people who are ride or die that know who the fuck you are, that are not going to try that.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like that's not even always
I feel
the
like
case
that's- yeah.
because people
No,
just people
okay,
do what
but
they
at
want.
the end of the
People
day-
do what they want to
Okay,
do.
everybody is built a different way. Everybody's built a different, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's been through what they're going to be going through in life. So, no, if you're not built for that, no, you're not going to take it.
Yeah.
You see
But
what I'm
the
saying?
thing is like, so for me, I would never tell on anybody intentionally. I would not go out of my
But
way
to
and
save
call
your-
nobody and be
listen,
like this,
no,
and that.
to save your own
Messing
ass,
everything.
I see it.
If it comes
Okay.
down to me or you,
Okay.
and it's some shit that you do that I ain't
Exactly.
really a
To
part
save
of.
your own ass, that's on you. But again, everybody's not built the same way. Every car ain't built. Ford ain't built like Nissan. Nissan ain't built like Toyota. Toyota ain't built like Mercedes. Everybody's not built the same way.
And I think that's one of the most toxic things in the black community is the fact that there are people sitting in prison right now
For
have
something
lost
that
their
they
life
did not
that-
do.
for some shit that
Or
they
they did
that
do
they
it, but they
did
did it for the
not
wrong
do.
purpose or the wrong reason.
Or they haven't spoken up about what really happened.
because it's better for me to sit in here for 15 years and have lost everything
Just
For
for
you to be
just
free.
for a title.
because it's better for you guys to think that I'm not a snitch.
It's
No.
a reputation.
Okay, but you gotta remember, some people that open their mouths, they don't open their mouths again.
Snitches get stitches.
I mean,
It's not even about stitches. Some of them get boxes.
I get it. I mean,
So,
I don't even
some
do no
people
shit
would
that's
rather-
ever even gonna put
But
my
that's what I'm
life in
saying.
that kind of place.
You can't say what another person should or should not have done. You don't know why they did it.
No, I'm not saying that people shouldn't do it. I'm just saying me. So
Exactly.
I'm just
But
telling
again-
people that I care about. Now, there are certain things that I'm willing to do and certain things that I'm not. Now, if it comes down to losing my freedom, if it comes down to having everything that I've worked for taken away,
Exactly.
if it comes down to me never being able to see my son again, I'm so sorry, friend.
No. But again, as your friend, they should never ask you to do that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And so that was really where I was going with my final word. Was that
Back to the
instead of-
final word,
Right,
y'all.
So instead of ride or die, like I'm gonna ride with your ass, and I'm even
To a
ride
certain
with you. I'm gonna
extent.
ride with you through the struggle. But if it comes down to losing things
Yeah.
and you still
Okay,
being
no.
able to live freely,
No.
I think that's unreasonable.
Okay, but
And so I also think that as a ride or die, I want my ride or die to encourage me to do the right shit.
Right.
Right.
And that was really the point that I was getting to before y'all
We
jumped
got
on me.
sidetracked.
Before y'all jumped on me.
Y'all
Wait,
ain't
wait. Y'all jumped
No,
on me
no.
as soon as I
Y'all
said,
ain't
oh
jumped.
shit, she a snitch.
No, listen, wait a minute, hold on.
Y'all
I
ain't
got
got-
double dutch and hula hoop that right now.
Y'all double team my ass. It was
Nobody
like,
did that.
that was that 2-piece and 3
Yeah.
biscuits for you. Which I said earlier.
All
That
right,
two,
keep
that
saying.
2-piece and 3
Nobody
biscuits.
did
Look.
that to her.
They saw it. Roll back the tape.
And one last thing,
Ooh.
y'all.
Ooh.
Life is short.
Yes.
Life is short. We have a friend right now, or an associate for some of us, that is on life support, and it just happened. I mean, I don't know how quickly or how long it took for it to happen, but they are. Life is short. Don't take any moments for granted, yo.
Yeah.
Not one. And we love y'all.
Good night.
Blessings.
Y'all like how I rolled out the picture.
Rolling.
Roll back.
Rolling on the